how are you doing? I hope you're okay. Who would have ever thought that you'd be missing real school these days, but I kind of think you might be. Anyway, I want you to know that I miss you. I miss seeing you before you go to Sunday school when we have our little time together in church. And so I thought I would record a Bible story every week and send it to you. So this week I was going to tell you the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. This is from the book of Daniel in the Old Testament. And by the way, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and their friend Daniel they all went through a war in Israel, and Israel lost to the Babylonians. So the Babylonians marched these guys and hundreds of others off to Babylon as captives. Now, once they got to Babylon, they were re-educated and kind of brainwashed into the Babylonian ways, and they were just supposed to be doing the things that the Babylonians wanted them to do. Well, as it turns out, one day the king came up with this ridiculous idea. He was going to build a great big statue of himself and put it out in the plain and force everybody to bow down. I mean, get down on their hands and knees and put their faces on the ground and bow down, actually to him, but to the statue when the music played. Now, I don't know what kind of music they had, maybe horns, whatever music, but when the music played, everybody needed to get down on the ground. And the king decided that there should be some bad punishment if they didn't do it. So the punishment that he came up with was that they would be thrown into a fiery furnace if they didn't bow down to this statue. Now, the only thing I can think of that might tell you what the furnace looked like was like maybe a trash burning dome where it was really big that people could actually step inside. And he made those flames very hot. People would just burn up like that. Well, one day the music started to play and all the people got down on the ground. But guess who was standing? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they were standing because they remembered one of the 10 Commandments that said, "You may not have any other gods before me." So there was no way they were going to bow down to some statue. Well, when the king saw that they weren't bowing down, he was furious. He said, take them away immediately. And they said, but king, we don't mean any disrespect to you. We just can't bow down to anyone but our God. The king said, I don't care. You getting thrown into the fiery furnace. And because he was so angry, the Bible says that he made the fire 7 times hotter than it would normally have been, because he was angry. Well, the guards took them and threw them into the fiery furnace. And the furnace was so hot that the guards who threw them in fell down dead outside the furnace. But inside the furnace, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were walking around. And the king was standing outside, and he went, I can't believe my eyes. I threw 3 men in there, and there are now 4 men walking around. So finally, he yelled out, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, come out of the furnace. And they walked out, and they didn't even smell like smoke. It was amazing. And the king said, how did this happen? I saw 4 people in there, and it was just supposed to be the 3 of you. And they said, King, there was our God that came with us. Our God came and saved us so that we did not come to any harm in the fiery furnace. We never meant any disrespect to you. We just could not bow down to anyone but our God. Well, the king was so impressed with their faith, with the miracle that they didn't burn up in that fiery furnace, that he said, from now on, everyone must also worship your God. Well, that was a pretty neat day for those guys. Not only were their lives saved by God because they were doing the right thing and worshiping their God, our God, but they also had other people now know about the strength and power of God to bring us through any bad circumstance that happens. So I want you to know, things haven't changed in 25 centuries. God is still with us. God will protect us and be with all of us. So God bless you guys, and I hope to see you back in church and all of us back to normal really soon. Bye.